What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV at a very rainy St Mirren Park, where it finished. St Mirren 0, Celtic 3. Kenny, I thought another brilliant, dominant performance from us from start to finish, really.
Yeah, another tough fixture ticked off. A wee bit surprised at starting 11. I thought Kuhn and Kyogo missing. Maybe he's just managing their fitness for next week, I don't know. But I mean, it's Callum McGregor just setting the tempo for these games. We're getting this great habit of scoring early goals, which just takes that pressure off, and it's McGregor that's driving the tempo. It's as good a start to a season as we've seen from McGregor. Hatate as well, I felt, was playing with a little bit more maturity today, I think, in the absence of O'Reilly, actually. Not just his trademark activity in the last third, but coming at holding his position a little bit deeper, playing balls a little bit longer at times. So I thought that the combination of those two really allowed us to take that grip in the midfield that St Mirren really couldn't take hold of. I thought Maeda was a bit rusty, I think. I would say he looked a little bit rusty when he came on against Hibs last week, and had he been playing at the level he exited last season at, we'd probably have went in maybe another goal or two up at half time. But overall, we're just suffocating them in the middle of the park. And then in the second half, what we failed to do in the last couple of games is get that third goal whereby it completely kills the fixture. But we did that, some lovely combination stuff in their box. I mean, from everyone, full-backs, midfield, everyone pressing really high in their box and just having the skill to break them down. And nice to see Allistair Johnston. I mean, he celebrated that like he'd won the World Cup. He doesn't score many. So overall, great. Yeah, just the continuation of the high press, slick football that's got us off to a great start this season.
I suppose the question mark on the starting 11 is how much of Brendan Rodgers is taking a view to the game next weekend. Forrest comes in for Kuhn. I don't know if Kuhn's got some sort of niggle there, but he did come on and play half an hour, looked fine, got another assist for Johnston's third goal. Forrest in the starting lineup, Maeda through the middle. Do you think that is something like the starting 11 next week, or do you think we'll go back to more familiarity, like Kyogo through the middle, Kuhn back out wide?
I think he'll go with Kuhn wide and Kyogo through the middle. Kuhn, his numbers are huge this season. He's played less than 3.5 games. He must have 7 goal contributions or something. Forrest has had a nice performance this season, but I just don't think you can ignore those numbers from Kuhn. So I think he has to start, and because Rangers seem to have sort of struggling with their main left backs out, aren't they? So that they're vulnerable there. So I would start with Kuhn, and I would start with Kyogo, because I think that more diminutive figure that plays right on the shoulder is going to give their centre backs more trouble. Maeda will give them trouble, but John Souttar, I don't know who'll be playing in beside him, but it's not someone with pace, and Kyogo can hurt them with their pace. So hopefully, I don't know why they didn't start, hopefully maybe just managing some background niggles, and they're in the starting 11 for next week.
I mean, it was horrendous conditions today. We started the game really well, as you say. McGregor just gets that space on the edge of the box, finds the bottom corner. I think towards the half-hour mark it maybe did get a little bit scrappy, but we get the second goal at a great time, and I think it's Johnston's ball over the back post. Maeda does really well to knock it down, and Hatate, who you mentioned already, I thought was brilliant all afternoon, just strikes it with his left foot across the keeper. I think it goes in off the post, a great goal.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a wee bit of a lull. It's hard to play when you can right out the traps that level of intensity. It was the same with Postecoglou's side. You just can't keep that up for 90 minutes, right? You're going to enter into a little bit of a lull. But what you need to do is be professional at that point and just make sure that the game remains calm and that you're continuing to threaten. Maeda was brilliant at the back post for that goal. Great leap. He's a bit inconsistent in the air, Maeda, but to knock that down, and Hatate, really quality sort of calm finish into the corner. So it's a nice habit we're in. It wasn't last season. It was the opposite. We were having not loads and loads of possession, but struggling to put games to bed, and it cost us points at times. Now we're out of sight at half time. That's not going to keep up for every game this season. But how long may it continue, given how it started?
Yeah, I think that's 9 goals without reply so far in the league. Maeda and Kyogo not on the score sheet though. Maeda had a couple of chances, particularly in the first half, balls through to him. As you say, maybe still does look like he needs some more minutes, needs more game time to get up to sharpness. Kyogo comes on as well, has one chance that the goalkeeper saves well with his right foot. That'd be the only sort of blemish, I suppose, on the brilliant form, that none of the strikers have managed to open their accounts yet.
Yeah, I mean, Maeda's the type of player, he's going to be very reliant on his touch, because we'll fizz balls into him. Kyogo's ball's in behind and he's through on goal, whereas Maeda's going to play with his back to goal. He's very reliant on his touch, and when you're a big man that's relying on your touch, you need to be sharp, otherwise you look rusty, and I think he looks a little bit rusty, but we can forgive that because he's not had a proper pre-season. Very distracted down at Norwich, barely played. He's came up here, and we know that will come. I have no issue with Maeda looking a bit rusty the last couple of games. That will come. Kyogo's, the only thing he's not done this season is score. He's looked really sharp. He didn't look, the way he was closing down the keeper there was like a man possessed. He didn't look like he was carrying an injury, so he looked sharp. The only thing he's not done is get on the score sheet. I'd start him next week, and I wouldn't bet against him being on the score sheet next week because he knows the way to goal against Rangers.
Yeah, no Matt O'Reilly today, of course. His announcement as a Brighton player probably imminent tonight. Do you think we missed him today? And who do you think's obviously Hatate's played well today? Bernardo's in there. We obviously need to strengthen in that area of the pitch. But how much do you think we'll miss O'Reilly?
I mean, O'Reilly's been a pleasure for Celtic. Brilliant character, got the club. Not just he's brilliant. He's developed as a man, really. You've watching him grow has been brilliant. You're going to miss his presence in the middle of the park, his assists, his goal scoring ability. Of course you are. And the problem with Bernardo coming in there is you can't help but think, well, he's not as good as O'Reilly and he's going to live in the shadow of him, and that's difficult for him. So of course we're going to miss him. But hopefully we'll throw at least a proportion of the cash on a replacement. I don't think it's out with the realms of Bernardo's ability to come in and take that jersey. He's really caught the eye, not so much today, but in his cameo performances up until today, he did catch the eye, Bernardo. I think he started the game with some nice classy touches at the start of the game today. He sort of fell a little bit out of it. So look, we need to find our way. You can't lose a £30 million player and say everything's going to be the same. We're under pressure to recruit well in that area, though. We've only got 4 days left to do it, 4 or 5 days left to do it, which isn't an in-control piece of strategy. But sometimes you can get a diamond in these last few days of the window. Sometimes you just can unearth something that would have been a bit harder to get earlier in the window. So yeah, crucial that we at least do our best to get a replacement in for Matt. Yeah, it's a huge week for the club, obviously. As you say, the transfer window closes, so much work to do to make sure that we don't close the window with a weaker squad than we went into it with. It's the Champions League draw on Thursday, it's the derby next week, so lots coming up. But in terms of how well the team is playing on the pitch, they could hardly be getting into that game in better shape. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right, but if you look at the bench today, I guess Kuhn and Kyogo aside, it's not really a Champions League strength bench. We've got a lot of activity to do in these closing few days. I do think we need a left-sided. If we can get a good, strong ball-playing left-sided centre-back that can come in and is maybe a bit closer to Vickers' level, I do think that could help the cohesion of the whole side. It seems to be an area where we're linked with people that are maybe a bit more journeyman-like and are not particularly high-profile. I'd be throwing a lot of the O'Reilly money in that position because it's just an area where we can really evolve the whole side. We need another left back. We obviously need to replace O'Reilly. If you're being greedy, you're going to want another winger, but they're not going to. I can't see them getting 4 signings done in 5 days. But we absolutely need a left back, a left-sided centre back, and a midfielder to have any chance of sort of being remotely competitive in the Champions League. But it's exciting, isn't it? Thursday's going to be a great watch, seeing who we end up with. So we can't complain too much. The rain's picking up again here. Just to push you on it for a number, how many do you feel that we'll get this week in the door? Reasonably. It's hard to build trust with the recruitment, isn't it? We don't have a head of recruitment. It's kamikaze the way we approach signings. So I don't know. Sometimes loans can come up. In the last week of the window, loans pop up. Quality loans. We're not carrying any loans. We've done well in the loan-to-buy market. We can accommodate a loan. So you might find we get, maybe we'll get 2 in and we'll get a nice loan in. And that's probably going to be enough to see us, provided they're well-picked players. But another centre-half, I think, could take us into a different sort of level. Lots of good performers today, lots of candidates for man of the match. Who was it for you? I would give it to Rio because I just thought I could just sense a change in his attitude. There's more response. As soon as Matt walks out the door, there's a bit more weight in Hatate's shoulders. And I think he stepped up to that today. He was playing with a little bit more maturity. I think he recognised Bernardo was playing really high, and I think he recognised that he couldn't perhaps do his usual sort of free-flowing stuff. He had to take care of the fact that Bernardo was, didn't quite have the same awareness that O'Reilly would normally have. So I would give it to Hatate. Brilliant all-round performance, balls from deep, killer passes in the final third. McGregor not too far behind him, but I would go with Rio. Yes, Hatate for me as well. That's it for full-time reaction here from Paisley, and we move forward to a massive week for the football club. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Cheers.